Well, to start my music career, I was a teenager when I first started playing music, so at that time I was listening to a lot of 90s music. Kurt Cobain was a huge influence and favorite of mine, King Buzzo from the Melvins, Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. I listened to the Pixies, I listened to Rage Against the Machine. That was sort of the territory that got me interested in music and got me originally playing guitar. And fast forward, I've listened to so much more in my adult life, listening to sci-fi soundtracks and dark wave and dark synth, and it's really kind of all over the place at this point in regards to what influences me. Conjure was born from a desire and a need to make more space in my life for creativity. I had really gone kind of a long space in my late 20s and 30s, not making very much music and just getting sucked into trying to survive, trying to pay rent, trying to work, trying to eat, and it really started to build up and have an impact on me. So the idea behind Conjure was simply, I need to make more music for my own mental health and my own survival, and to have somewhere to express the emotions that I was experiencing, just trying to stay alive in the world. Burning and The Destroyers are the two singles that came out in advance of my upcoming album. The Destroyers is a song that's an instrumental song influenced by sci-fi soundtracks. It's very cinematic, and the concept behind it is really just capturing the emotion and the feeling of living in a world where there's this invisible force that is destroying the environment and destroying equity across humans globally, impacting working class people and causing disparity of access in regards to money and resources, and really just impacting the world in a very negative way, and us not having much control over that or a feasible way to impact it. Burning is about social control and the concept of really being impacted by how you're raised and how society expects you to behave. The creative process and recording process both took place in Guanajuato in central Mexico. It really was kind of organic and fluid. I was working a lot on just experimenting with sounds and experimenting with concepts. I decided I really wanted to focus on my emotional state at the period of my life I was recording, and make the album very personal and cathartic and emotive. So I was experimenting with a lot of sounds that to me felt to explore emotional territory, even if it was an instrumental track. There is several vocal tracks on it as well, where the lyric content is very centered around things like repression and social control. So yeah, and for recording, I did everything in my own studio and recorded all the instruments and programmed all of the MIDI and sample-based elements myself. And yeah, it came together kind of chaotically but fluidly all at the same time somehow, if that makes any sense. Living in Mexico is wonderful. I grew up in Singapore and Hawaii, and in a lot of ways culturally, Mexico is very similar to where I grew up, so I partially feel quite at home here. I lived in the continental mainland United States for a while as an adult, and I really didn't like it and don't feel that I fit in very, very well there. And the culture there is not something that I feel like is very healthy. I met my current partner, Eduardo, in Oregon, who's from Comonfort, in the state of Guanajuato, and we moved back down here together to the area that he's from and that he grew up in. So that's what brought me here, and I love it and enjoy being here, and really am quite fond of the people and the landscape, and the food, of course. conjures music in 3 words. Okay, how about dystopian emotional catharsis? Surprises and plans coming up. Well, I will say this, that I have finished recording my first cover song of a song that really influenced me a lot in the 90s by one of my favorite bands of all time. I'm super excited about it. I think it came out really well. And that is going to be coming out later in the fall after the record kind of has done its process. And I'm going to be focused over the winter on a lot more video content and preparing various types of sort of video live performance elements that I'm going to be doing online and via live streaming and stuff like that.